Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Command List. Playing on the left-hand side of the screen is me, Raging Demon. And this time, playing on the right-hand side of the screen is Senor Vanfernal. How's it going, mate? This has been a while, a long time coming this. I wanted to get you on for a while.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. It's kind of weird seeing a podcast that is kind of retro adjacent and into fighting games, which are two things that I love the most. But although fighting games is a very love-hate relationship, I'm not gonna lie, but it's good to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think because fighting games have that sort of... Is there a such thing as a retro fighting game, really, though? Like, I mean, we do modern fighting games as well, but it's just like some of them endure so long and they hold up so well that they still play them now. And at EVO, they always have a classic fighting game.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy because the game I'm playing the most now is Tekken 8 because I've been a huge Tekken fan since Tekken 1 but I can still use combo on tech I used in Tekken 1 30 years ago, and it still works. It's kind of crazy how the legacy skill on that game in particular just translates all the way,
Yeah, and they built on it, and it's a great place to start because I also love Tekken, probably the most out of all the fighting games I play. I think since Tekken 5, that's kind of been the foundation of what we play today. And you're right, even stuff from the original Tekken still works for a lot of characters. And that's what this game is, though. Like, if you took that away, which they kind of did for some things in Tekken 8, which made people upset, it isn't really the same. I think this game's supposed to be that way. And I think that's what makes it, in my opinion, the fighting game fans' fighting game, So...
Yeah,
I think Tekken, the fact that you have to master a giant move list and just remember it and take it game to game is just part of the charm of the game.
Here's the thing. This past weekend it was the Esports World Cup for Tekken, and I pretty much happened to catch the whole thing, and I was hooked the whole time. And even though I did also watch the Esports World Cup for Street Fighter. As a spectator sport, Street Fighter, it's, you're going to see the dry brush, you're going to see, the neutral. It is what
Totally.
it is, you're just waiting to see someone waiting for someone to get caught. But in Tekken, there are so many variables, how you get up, all the Oki, all the juggles. Is there are they fighting for a wall behind them? Are they gonna take the stage hazard? Like, so many things can happen that as a spectator game, I still think Tekken has no equal. It's just so many things can happen at any given time, and until the other person is completely dead, the round can go either way. It is very...
they're not dead, really.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes those comebacks are insane, but it's so much fun to watch. But at the same time, I love playing it, but it can be certainly very rage-inducing, especially depending on the matchups.
Well, one of the interesting things since the rage art became a thing, right, is that you can have slightly more health than them and not be enraged, and then all of a sudden you've got a disadvantage, even though you got a health lead. And what I've done a few times when I play Yoshimitsu is I'll chip away at my own health to get rage. So it's a strange game in that there are still combo options that can get you back in the match, but unlike, say, Street Fighter, where there's probably two conditions for how well you can finish a combo, be close to the wall, or I think combos basically just work the same regardless of where you are on screen, and the only difference would be if you're close to the wall. Whereas in Tekken, it's not just that. If you've sidestepped and launched them, or they're a little bit further away, or it's a counter hit, or there's a wall, or there's a floor break, there's so many different conditions that can make you drop your combo or give you options for a different one that it just makes it more interesting to watch. I agree. I love watching Tekken way more than Street Fighter. I just can't... It hooks me. I can sit there for hours watching it. And I didn't watch this last Esports World Cup, but I've watched hours and hours and hours of EVO and Tekken World tour and that sort of thing. So totally agree. I know almost all the big players in Tekken at the moment, but I barely know any of the guys that play Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter 6 particularly is just very popular. I think it's popular to watch because the game is popular, not popular to watch because it's, you know, as good to watch as, say, Tekken. And that might be controversial to say, but Tekken is his ultimate esports thing to watch, you know.
Yeah,
for me.
It's just, again, no, the same person, if they get two good hits in on Street Fighter, can usually get almost identical like matches. Second, it can kind of sort of happens, but again, there's so many variables depending on the angle. Like it's funny because I play Lee, and whenever I get a wall on a kind of funny angle, I just do the simplest combo because I'm just gonna drop. Meanwhile, a Heihachi like finds you in a funny angle and he'll resplat you to that wall like 12 times, and you're like, what is going on here? So it's kind of funny how seeing people like vie for position and all that.
What I love about Tekken is that you see the matchup and the person playing the player isn't figured out until they play, right? There's so many things to know, and a player can play a different character, the same character in so many different ways with so many different mix-ups. You'll see sometimes where someone will be, say, two matches up, right? And then all of a sudden it just clicks for the other guy where they figured them out. And then you just see the momentum completely shift. There's that learning, and then they have to swap character. Then it happens again. And, you know, there's this, it's sort of like a learning process you watch happening in real time that you don't sort of get as much of in other fighting games. You know, it does happen in other fighting games where, you know, all of a sudden, oh, I know what you're doing, you know, and then they've got it. But in Tekken, I just feel like this happens way more, and the momentum can shift so quickly with a good comeback or a good round, or all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I know what they're doing here. I know how they're launching their combo. I know what they're going to do when they wake up. You know, there's a lot of hard reads in Tekken as well. So, you know, what I liked about Tekken is how safe you could be. This is one of the criticisms of 8, is you can just bash people to death with heat. But yeah, I like that you have to make genuine mistakes and reads to really exploit.
Yeah,
to really cash in.
Not only that, especially in long sets, the mental stack and the conditioning in this game is also to another level. There was this Kazuya player called Keisuke. He's probably the best Kazuya in the world. This guy, he 3-0'd Arslan Ash on EWC. You know, he's no joke. So he was playing, I think it was Ulsan, who is the 2-time EWC champion. And basically he did Kazuya has like a roll attack, like an overhead, and he hit Ulsan 3 times in a row with this. Because basically the fear of the hell sweep is so, like, it's so ingrained in his brain at that point that he just like wave dash overhead, wave dash overhead, wave dash overhead, because this guy is automatically just going low because he fears the hell sweep.
The hell sweep combo, yeah.
Yeah, it was very artful to watch, you know. And I'll be honest, I always liked Tekken 8. Some people are like, yeah, you know, I just want to go back to Tekken 7. And, you know, the funny thing is people have a very short memory because there was a lot of criticisms of Tekken 7 when 7 was in full, you know, tournament mode. But they have toned down the heat a lot, especially this last patch where they remove all moves that made you regain heat. So now heat's there and you can just wait it out, or the other person, they just have to use it as quick as possible. If a move regain heat before, now it kind of pauses it. But it's heat is not as polarizing as it was. Like, you remember when lost when lost nunchucks will regain heat, and every time he hits you with that, it feels personal, or King's tracking giant swing, giving him like heat back. that was rage inducing, but I feel that they're on
Yeah.
the right track, honestly. And I love Tekken. I dare say it with a full chest because it's got kind of gotten a bad rap, but I still love the crap out of it. And honestly, I haven't had this much fun in playing a Tekken game since playing Dark Resurrection back in the day.
Yeah, I actually I've been a bit hot and cold on Tekken 8. That I actually think it's all right now. I agree. I still love playing it. I wasn't. I'm not a fan of more mechanics and more things and more resources. I kind of that's my criticism with Tekken 8. Really, it still feels mostly the same. They've nerfed the heat. They've nerfed a lot of characters. Had some janky, broken shit, especially homing moves. Right, that was a big criticism early on with this game as well. I just feel like there's things with this. They've tried to sort of homogenize all the throws. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I liked it the way it was
Oh,
before.
I hate.
Um,
Yeah, I hate the fact that now the regular throws, 1, 3, or 2, 4, you can escape them with either button. And I hate that
yeah,
because I play Lee again. He has the 1+2 break and then an anything break, and the anything breaks are the homing moves. So if someone sidesteps and you try to throw them, it's
if
always
anything break was for the up forward 1 and 2, right, which is now pretty much standard for every character.
yeah. So 1+2 is
Yeah,
for the up forward 1+2, and then his regular throws you can just use any punch button. So you don't even have to, because
yeah,
before.
just one.
Yeah, before, if you do a 1-3, you have to use one to break it. If you use 2-4, you have to use two, and then they had the 1 and 2. So it was always a rock, paper, scissors situation. Now it's just a 50-50, depending on the
Yeah,
character. Some have a 1 break, a 2 break, a 1+2 break. It's kind of inconsistent. I personally didn't like that change because it is easier to break throws, but I feel that some characters are better off with more tools than others.
yeah. I think also like they're probably take Virtual Fighter where it's what side you throw from, right? They've kind of I don't know if they're trying to go for something like that or they're just trying to make throws less of an issue. I actually liked throws being kind of strong and hard to predict, except for like obviously King is very high tier and that's a bit of a problem for balance with him. But yeah, I don't really like, and sometimes when I say I don't really like something, it just means I'm not used to it yet and I've been playing it one way for a decade or more and it's, I'm just sort of like man shouting at cloud kind of thing, where, even with the combos, sometimes I think they're a bit long.
Yeah, but
I like the neutral.
I
Yeah.
think that it may sound ironic, but I do think it's right now it's the best time ever to get into fighting games because of
Agreed.
because of the accessibility. Here's the thing. I am a child of the 80s, you know? The first fighting game I played was Street Fighter 1, and apart from that, the closest thing to a fighting game was Double Dragon for the NES, had a 1v1 mode. I played the crap out of that.
Yep.
But the point is, I was there at ground level, and you know, you had to go to the arcades, to the pizzerias or whatever to play Street Fighter 2, and it cost money. And sometimes my mom will give me 50
Yep.
cents. That's 2 plays. That's all I'm gonna get. And I'm a kid. I just got whooped by a teenager twice in a row. Now I can't play anymore. Now, and this happened with Guilty Gear Stripe specifically, I believe, when rollback net code became so good that playing online actually became viable. Now you have full online tournaments. So you can now play and play and play and play and play and play and just get better. The EWC Street Fighter, it was won by a 15-year-old kid from Chile. Look, there was no 15-year-olds winning tournament on
No.
back in my day because we didn't have the money to pour so much
It's like
training
a 15-year-old playing golf.
Yeah, no,
They couldn't buy golf clubs.
Yeah.
or afford a membership to the golf course.
So where I'm going with all of this is that I think the simplifying the throws and all that, I think they're just focusing on making fighting games accessible now. And You will always have the hardcore crowd that they just want the most complicated thing and to gatekeep everything. But at the end of the day, fighting games are like any game, they're a business. You want to get people in. So you will don't want to make it too complicated. Like you yourself said it. You don't like too many mechanics. Part of the reason I haven't played City of the Wolves is because that game has so many mechanics that I was overwhelmed just looking at it. Like
Yeah.
you have you have your perfect guard, you have your totally not dry
Just
gauge
defense. Yeah.
system. You have the feints, which look the feints are vile. Like the fact that you can just do a move and fake and throw, it
Yep.
is there's so much going on. But and ironically that game is underperforming.
Rev blow. There's all these other things as well. And there's the dodge as well. The two different types of dodge, a high and low.
And the
And what's
SPD.
interesting is they're all defensive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of funny, but and the games that are actually performing are very offensive. But
Yeah.
where I'm coming from is I think Tekken, part of the reason those are easier and more accessible is to get more people in, because that's what you want. You want to grow it. Street Fighter right now, it's huge. A lot of people are like, oh, they have to get rid of the dry brush and throw loops and all that. But if you look at the numbers,
Why would they?
it's not backing that up. People are playing this game and they're having fun. The reason right now the Shoto characters or Shoto adjacent are so stupidly strong in that game, I am convinced it's because that's the characters people gravitate to, and you're finding someone who's new to Street Fighter, picked up the game. They picked Ryu. All of his moves are plus on block or save, and they're getting wins and they're having fun and they're playing more and more and more because it's all about accessibility and getting the highest amount of people to play the game. So us old heads, we have to get in our head that our grassroots like scenes and everything, it's gone. Right now, fighting games
Yeah.
are way more mainstream and they need to keep the general populace, happy. It's not about uh it's not about balancing the game for you tryhards who are at the highest rank fighting the same three people over and over. It's so that people who pick up the game that you can just have fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I understand. I understand the motivations for the modern fighting game these days. I mean, it's not about hard inputs anymore. Which like you said, I've gone. Oh, I don't like too many mechanics. There are people who don't like learning difficult inputs, right? So and that's usually the younger player these days.
Yeah. Oh,
They just want to get up and start playing, right? Because they're used to games online games where they can just do that. They don't have to spend hours labbing a character just to be viable online at all, or just to even play the game. I mean, I appreciate that about fighting games, but I think there's definitely a place for a mixture, and I think Tekken can't really go with Street Fighter on that, and they shouldn't try. I think they should just do light touches when it comes to accessibility.
yeah. Yeah, even Tekken has an easy input mode, and it's a joke. It's worthless.
Yeah.
But Street Fighter in the last patch, the Yasmin patch, they added more options for modern controls. Now, for example, some moves you can actually do the different strengths, because there was playing modern had a lot of disadvantages in terms of the move will be just this move. Like, for example, Zangief, I believe it's just his medium SPD, which is
Yep.
not the strongest and doesn't have the best reach either, But now what they're doing is some moves, especially the ones that you press down with modern controls, now you can do down back and down forward, and you can get different strengths, so there's more utility to it. And they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't want more to make it easier for more people and more viable, So I
Yeah.
think it is a very interesting time in fighting games right now, and I think it's great. Marvel Token just came out, and that game can be as easy or as complicated as you want it to be. There's some
I was going to say the same thing about Avatar. Avatar Legends is a bit like that. To learn the moves is pretty easy, in fact. But what I've been finding is trying to do the combo trials is some of them are real brutal. The manual input combos, like because there's easy auto combo as well. But yeah, I found that high skill ceiling, even though it's that like using a broom, mate, easy to learn, hard to master. you know that but yeah, I haven't played Marvel Tokon yet. I'm kind of fatigued from Marvel. I liked poor Marvel better than rich Marvel. You know?
Look, man, you're barking the wrong tree. I think the last Marvel movie I saw was Age of Ultron, and I was tapped out by then. So yeah, it's very oversaturated. And I did not get Token. I played the beta. I realized it's not for me. I am not a huge fan of anime fighters. Um, Guilty Gear Stripe was the exception, and it was because Guilty Gear Stripe specifically really toned down things for that series. It made them simpler compared to what Xrd was, which was absolute madness. But the point is, it's 4 characters, but a good thing about Marvel Token is that it's by rounds. So even though you have 4 characters, you can literally just learn 1 character and use the other ones just as assists, and it's just as viable. You don't have to learn 4 characters and juggle them like the Marvel versus Capcom games, which are try hard as hell, and the condition to losing is getting hit. Then you lost basically.
Well, and there's a lot of ways to go about a tag game. Like Marvel versus Capcom 2, obviously 3 characters. Even today, they're still like honing what that perfect team and tier list is. Like with the 3 different characters, you had to master 3 characters minimum.
Yes,
and have them work well together as well with assists and stuff. But you could take the Tekken tag route where all you have to do is kill one of them. I actually like that. That adds a little bit of you have to actually tag.
yes, yeah.
You can't just let the meter run out and go, oh, I've got my next guy. You have to. My next character's good to go. No, you have to manage it because if you don't, they'll just knock one of your characters out and you lose.
Yeah, then 2XKO is kind of in between. You have your 2 characters and they both have to die for you to lose the round. But something interesting is that even after a character is dead, they can still do their assists. So it is very interesting, and it does have different. I call them isms because I'm all about
because that's the closest thing to it. Yeah,
yeah. But there's one that it's called Fury, where you can. No, it's Juggernaut. It's what it's called, and you just play with 1 character, no assist, but that character hits like a truck. It's not the most viable, but you basically 2-touch the other guy. You touch 1 character, they die. Touch the other one, and they die too. So. That game's also
like CVS 2.
Yeah.
Or using Cyber Akuma in Marvel Superheroes versus
something like that. And that game is also it's crazy. They're releasing characters like mad in that game, so that's another. But the point is, right now I feel that we're in a very interesting position. There's a lot of games right now for different variety. Well, let's see how. I'm psyched for the new Virtua Fighter. At least all I've seen looks pretty amazing. And Tekken needs the competition because the 3D space is barren right now. There's just nothing out there.
Now, I'd be assuming, and I'm assuming correctly, that you've watched the Virtua Fighter 6 trailer.
Oh, yeah.
But that game looks like it's gone. Everyone making fun of the story and it not having one, and they're having the training dummy as the boss, and all the literal void that is the Virtua Fighter lore and story, and going hold our beer.
Yeah,
hold our beers.
It's funny.
We are going to have the best story mode. It's going to be. It looks like that story mode's going to be a 20-hour game.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy because now it's the RGG Studios, the Yakuza, the guys who made the Yakuza games are the ones who took over. But The one thing I was thinking while watching this trailer is like, man, this is like a modern Shenmue. Like this is what Shenmue was trying to be back in the day. Basically, it was just like an RPG with Virtua Fighter combat, but it wasn't executed the best way. But this looked so hype.
Well, there were beat 'em up bits by the look of it as well.
Yeah, beat 'em ups and chases with like quick time events and everything. It's Shenmue, and I'm all for it. And also I love how I feel like the aesthetic of Virtua Fighter 6 is what Street Fighter 6 was trying to be, but they kind of
Yeah.
pulled it off. Like the main character's yellow. He's kind of what Luke is supposed to be, but he doesn't look like such a cornball.
Yeah, Street Fighter did not. I mean, World Tour is okay, but they just. Well, I don't like the character design of the new characters. I don't find myself invested in them. I don't like. There's almost no development there that makes you go, oh, I care what happens, or they're interesting, or it's just all cheese and all campiness, you know.
Yeah, but that's
I don't. Yeah.
yeah, it is. I think Street Fighter 6 is like old people trying to think or like remember what was cool
Yes.
in the
Yes.
90s.
Yes.
And that's their idea. It's like, yeah, we got like the hip hop, we got graffiti everywhere. Everything's like all effects are paint, and it is
Well,
it is kind of a beautiful disaster.
I made a short about how Sean is Poochie from The Simpsons. And that's kind of what this feels like as well, where they're like, oh, skateboarding's cool. This is cool. Well, they've gone, Brazilians are cool. This is cool. Basketball's cool. The Shoto characters are cool. Let's all mix them together and make something just super lame by accident. It's just like they tried to add too many things to him. And it's.
And look, whatever hot mess they did, it worked because the numbers don't lie, man. The Evo Japan, it was the tournament was like 8,000 people or something like that. It was ridiculous. And
it's nuts.
Yeah,
15-year-old champion too just shows the youth are into it.
Yeah, man. It's funny because drive impacts are a huge part of that game. When they started calling them unk checks. And that really,
yes, I was going to say calling
that really. I took that personal because I don't have the reactions for those. I drive impacts all the time, and if I counter it, it's just that I was gonna do one and I was too slow, so it came after the other one. But it's like I'm about to turn 44, man. My reflexes are not what they used to be. Which I'm actually very proud that, for example, in Tekken, I'm on God of Destruction 2.
Nice.
It sure as hell is not because of my reflexes. It is more of hard reads and just like education I have throughout the years. Because man,
100%, and that's what Tekken gives because you see that older sort of pool of professional players in Tekken, and I think that's why, right? Because there's still that legacy skill and experience, like. I'm always very surprised at how effective just a throw or a low parry or something is against even a really good player. And I'm guessing that's more an experience thing, like a well-timed, there you go, you've let your guard down, bang, or you're going to get up and do a low kick, or you're going to get up, you're going to do this, or you're going to, the hard reads become your only advantage because the reflexes definitely aren't after a while. It's also funny that this getting called an unk, or your game getting called an unk fighter, is now a thing, and it's only a thing because there are young people playing the game, right? So that's good. It's a little offensive at times, but yeah, it's funny that unk check because all the old guys in their 40s can't do them.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I don't see any 15-year-olds winning Tekken majors like that because on Street Fighter, let's say you play Ryu, If the guy jumps, you DP. If he's away, you throw a Hadouken. That's it. Like that's pretty much the
Well, there's like 5 special moves tops.
right.
Right.
So there's obviously some matchup knowledge to be learned, but overall, your game plan doesn't change that much. In Tekken, basically, your game plan has to revolve around what character you're facing. It is
Yes, the matchup.
and one of the craziest things this guy Zubair, the guy who won
Oh, the guy
EWC.
who won Tekken.
Yeah, this guy, he came from he started playing professional, I think it's 2023. He's from Pakistan, which Pakistan, it's an insane
What a surprise.
yeah. Yeah, but this guy apparently, the Pakistani guys who are actually traveling around and winning tournaments, apparently they're not even the best guys in Pakistan. But the point is, this guy was fighting Lohai, who is a monster of a
Who's
player.
fairly good.
Yeah. Beat him 5-0, complete wash. But one of the moves, he's just going in with the Dragunov, and he sidestep Brian Orbital on reaction. And I'm like, wow, like Brian was expecting a low. This guy just sidestep him and then just like destroy him. There's that you have to be so ready for so many different situations that only comes with experience when it comes to Tekken. And I think that's what puts Tekken on a different level than other fighting games. And I know some people will disagree.
Except Virtual Fighter, maybe, because Virtual Fighter, again, is one of those games that's like that as well.
Oh, yeah, Virtua Fighter to me is a fighting simulator. It is. There's so many possible. You can actually sidestep and do every single throw, escape at the same time, like sidestep, block, duck, and throw, escape on one swift motion. Yeah, no
fuzzy guard. Yeah,
no.
There's all these little tricks.
The fuzzy guard. The thing is, I think that's part of the reason Virtua Fighter has never really taken off. There is so much going on. For example, and one thing Tekken has is that the characters, down forward 2, you're going to do some sort of mid uppercut, Down forward 4, it's probably going to be a mid kick that's safe. So the characters that, you got your 1-2s, overall, you can kind of get the feel for it. Sometimes I will be playing a new character in Virtua Fighter, and this guy's just ducking in my face, and I'm pressing everything, and it's highs because I don't even know what my overheads are. They're so different. But yeah, I do hope that this Virtua Fighter hypes people up and that they simplify a little, not simplify, just make it more accessible, which is what every other game is doing, and the old heads are complaining about it. But I think that Virtua Fighter really needs it because here's the thing. Virtua Fighter has failed over and over and over to get an audience. They need to do something different because a lot of people are, Virtua Fighter is going to come back and take over everything. Yeah, they need to establish a fan base to begin with because they only had some really hardcore people backing that game since day one. But I'm excited for it. I think, and Tekken needs the competition, man, and the game looks gorgeous. It's very interesting. Like, I don't know if you saw that there's no really juggles in the aspect of you throw someone in the air and juggle them. They kind of go into a crumple state and you're just beating up this guy who just went limp. It's kind of hilarious. And then if you beat him,
it's why not?
When you beat him really hard, you can like win the round by like kicking their jaw, and one of their molars will come flying out. So
they've lent into the realism. They've taking Virtua and seriously, right? The actual name, because you're right though. I think who likes Virtua Fighter? Some hardcore Japanese players, and probably people like us who were there with the Sega Saturn. So.
Yeah,
and had it, that's who's really into it,
Yeah, but again, I'm excited for that one, and I'm just excited for fighting games in general, man. And the thing is, look, if you stay off social media, there's a lot of fun to be had out there. because I think the people who like just shit on every modern fighting game, they're just a very loud vocal minority because most people don't care. And when you see where the average are, it's you see Tekken and the average person is like purple ranks or like blue ranks and they're out there fighting for their lives. And I'm not it's not throwing shade at them, but these people are complaining on the highest level. It's like, look, man, you made it that far up the chain of the ladder already. It's because there is something to you that makes you special. Stop trying to make the game different when there's a lot of people out there just having fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, like, I criticize things I don't like, but I don't. I also just don't play stuff. There's that solution, and that's the
Yeah.
ultimate solution
And,
to something.
and that's
Right?
100%
Show
valid.
them you don't like it by just not playing it.
Yeah,
Right?
and here, look, season 4 for Street Fighter just dropped. Dry brushes and throw loops are gonna be there forever. That's the game. You have to accept it or go play something else. Because every single time, there's a new character and there's like this beta where people get to test the character. Every single time, I swear, there's a Twitter post about yeah, throw loops are gone. And then when the patch actually drops, it's like, nope, I just got throw loop to death by an idiot, like an idiot. And it's there. And dry brush is always going to be there. And that's the identity of Street Fighter 6. And more people than not are playing it and liking it. So either stop complaining about it. At this point, it's season 4. It's been 4 years. You have to accept it. Dry brush and throw loops are part of the identity of the game. And it is what it is. Not all games are gonna do what Guilty Gear Strive did, that they just changed the mechanics a lot. The what was that dumb mechanic where you could use half your burst bar and do a very degenerate attack? Wild Assault?
Oh, yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Wild Assault. That move,
Wild Assault.
that was so degenerate that they literally took it out of the system completely. They just
Was it even in the original release?
No, they added that.
Because I don't remember it. I played that when it came out like that game's pretty old now. But I played Strive when it came out for like good 3 months solid, and then didn't play it again for years. It's got tag and stuff in it now.
Yeah, but those are like separate modes that you play this for fun. But for the essential one, so that Wild Assault thing became so degenerate and make characters so stupidly broken that you could just do the unsafest thing with your character and then do a Wild Assault and be plus on the other guys. So they decided to just, you know what, we're taking it out completely.
It's never your turn.
Yeah, and they change a lot of things. Like, for example, like DPs, now you can't really Roman cancel them. Remember how you will have someone do an invisible reversal and then do a Roman cancel dash backwards and no repercussions whatsoever. The point is, Daisuke is a madman, and you can't count on every fighting game having someone that just says, you know what, let's just try to change everything. Tekken kind of did that on season 2, and that was a disaster. So let's just...
Well, at least they can fix it now. Like, I mean, take Mortal Kombat 1. They tried something, and it was universally rejected. Like, the cameo system was universally rejected, right? I didn't like it. No one liked it. I didn't hate the game, but I just felt like people don't want that in Mortal Kombat, right? So it was rejected. They took a chance. It didn't work. Better luck next game.
Yeah, and
the way people talk about it, they're like, oh, it's dead. The franchise is dead. How can a franchise that big die? You know what I mean? It's not going to die. Look, it's just a bad game.
For any other quote-unquote respectable fighting game does, Mortal Kombat dwarfs their numbers in sales, and it is not even because of hardcore players.
No, Mortal Kombat 1 outsold Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, and the previous Mortal Kombat and the previous Mortal Kombat, because that name just has that much pull. NRS players are very faithful, and here's the thing. I don't mind change. sometimes you'll hit the mark, sometimes you'll miss. Here's the thing: there's also a lot of revisionist history. Street Fighter 3 was universally hated when it came out.
Oh yeah,
Everyone
yep,
hated it.
it was.
And third,
I'm still not a fan.
yeah, and Third Strike is respected now because of like
Yep.
like Justin Wong and
Justin
Daigo
Wong.
and all that. But it is still it has a very hardcore fan base, but it will never got mainstream appeal. And to this day, most people don't care for Third Strike, and Capcom took a chance. And what did they do when Street Fighter 4 came out? Okay, we gotta bring all the World Warriors, all the Street Fighter 2 characters are here. Let's throw some Final Fight characters. Let's just let's just bring everyone back. And Street Fighter 4 was massive. But the thing is, you can take chances. Like, it is respectable, but you can't be too extreme about it. Actually,
No, and you can't, because take Third Strike. There's a sort of, I feel, pressure that if you're in the FGC, if you're an insider, that you have to like that game. I don't like it.
also,
It's okay,
look,
but
people will, it's one of the best competitive games out there. Bullshit.
true.
Be-
There's other ones though.
no. Here's the thing. Okay, look at
Ken versus Chun-Li.
look at the
That's the
majors, and it's gonna be Yoon, Ken, Chun-Li. 99% of the time, almost the whole cast is useless, and then since there's the super art system, most super arts are actually useless too. The characters who are up there, they have more than one bar, so they have EX attacks, and then they can actually have also supers that they just spam. And it's a very one-sided, like that tier list. It's like 3 characters S tier and then everyone else, so it is not balanced at all. Is it hype to watch? Yeah, you see people doing parries and crazy stuff, and it's fun to watch, but overall, it's a disaster of a game. That game needed a fourth ball. What else? I don't know what you will call another, but I felt that it was one revision short from just true greatness.
Yeah, and I think if you look at it and say, because like I said, I'm not that into Street Fighter 3, right? I didn't consider it good at the time. The original Street Fighter 3 was awful. Third Strike is good, but again, I wasn't into it. I prefer Street Fighter Alpha, but when you compare it to, say, a game that was criticized like Mortal Kombat 11 for its, Liu Kang versus Joker, Joker versus Joker, you know what I mean? Like, how is Third Strike any different to that? It's not, right? And when you look at, say, Tekken, you've got a good 5, 6, 7 different characters that are viable, right? You can win with those characters, and you see it. Yeah, you see Dragunov, and you see a few dominate, and Brian's have been pretty popular lately as well. But Arslan Ash, he won Evo without any of those characters, didn't he? I think he used Nina for most of it.
Yeah, Nina is busted as hell too, but
but you know what I mean. No, she's not that popular generally.
No, she's not. No one plays Nina. Here's the thing. I feel that the power level between the top tiers and the bottom tier in Tekken is way more close than other games. Some games are like the top characters are great, some are just zero viability whatsoever. Like, you can't even use those characters.
You could be the best player in the world with that character and still go nowhere in a tournament.
Except if you're a Lee player. Lee has never won a major ever in the lifetime of Tekken 8. I don't think he's even made a top 8. It's crazy. But online, he is one of the most hated characters, and everyone will tell you that character is busted. But overall, I feel that, I feel Tekken is pretty much healthier than other fighting games when it comes to that. Street Fighter also...
Well, I played...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, I played Yoshimitsu, and my online record with Yoshimitsu is very good. But then when I went to a tournament, a local here, I got curb stomped. by a Brian player. Absolutely curb stomped.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Like, yeah.
Yoshimitsu is one of those characters, like, I one and done a lot of Yoshimitsus because, like, every Yoshimitsu has its own special version of autism.
Oh, yeah, so many moves.
Because not you can't play two Yoshimitsus that play the same. They all play in a separate and different type of disrespectful way, and it is so hard to learn that matchup. So sometimes, usually, I get them off guard on that first match, and I'm like, bye. I know you're gonna play extremely dishonest going forward, and I don't want to put up with it. But yeah, it is. Yoshimitsu is the character with most player expression in that game, in my opinion. It is.
Oh, agreed.
It is so unique to each person playing. Some of them are just.
And the least is Jin.
Jin, yeah. You don't need to, man. Yeah. God, I hate Jin so much because no, and they nerfed a lot. I remember when he slapped your foot, and that was a full launcher, like on the first seasons, and then he could his heat smash was a wall splat. It was ridiculous, but I feel that it's good that there's some characters that have a much straightforward game style. Some are very tricky, and there's a lot of in between. And depending on the player, they can make up for a lot of it because you see a lot of variety. Sometimes you run into a bear and this destroys you. It's just so many things can happen that I feel that you never know what you're gonna run into Tekken. And then yeah, the tournament scene is way more varied. You'll see a little bit of everything. Street Fighter right now, you do see the outliers, but it's also very stacked towards the S tier characters too. You'll always see right now. Mai is they nerfed her this, but Mai was top one. That character had everything. You had Mai, you had Terry Bogard, who is again, he has everything. Sagat, I think those were the
But
top.
the thing is, someone's got to be. There's going to be a best character in the game.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing you can do about that. All you can do is nerf them and then make a new best character in the game. You can't eliminate there being one character that's inherently better, right?
Yeah, but
It's just part of fighting games.
With all that said, I still consider that even in the most egregious modern fighting game, I still feel the gap between the best and worst character is much smaller than it was back in the day. Especially like you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You see Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where everyone loves that game, but only like 7 characters out of like 56 are actually viable.
Are good.
You got your Magneto, Psylocke, Storm, actually, and it's most on the more Marvel side. Capcom side is 95% useless.
Yeah, was it War Machine, Storm, and someone? There's a particular team that's pretty busted as well.
Oh yeah.
Might not be War Machine. It might. But Storm's definitely pretty busted in that game.
Yeah, and it's
Magneto, Storm.
But to be fair, on the highest level, I had a buddy who was explaining mechanics to me, and holy crap, you build your team synergy so that the next character in line actually has a safe super. So in case you mess up, you do that super and to tag out. And they can't, which is why Storm is always the second, because she does that hailstorm and you're stuck at the side of the screen while she's completely safe on the opposite. Then there was the characters that fly have this thing called on fly, that you cancel the fly, and depending on how you cancel it, you can extend the combos. I'm like, all I'm seeing is a guy jumping like a triangle jumps, juggling the other guy, and there's so much going on in the background. That is one of the games that's being dissected the most in history. But it's when it comes to like tournaments, the character pool is very small, and it comes down to the players themselves. Because at that point, that is where you achieve true balance, where everyone's basically playing the same characters.
Yeah, and at that sort of level, you're playing the same people a lot as well. So it becomes at that point not a knowledge of the game, just a player playing the player instead, which is good. You see that a lot in Tekken too. But yeah, with these guys have been on the scene a long time. They've played each other a lot. Sometimes it isn't even the matchup anymore. It's just who can keep their nerve, hold their nerve the longest.
Yeah,
But or who can surprise the other guy. But yeah, I don't know if you haven't played Avatar Legends yet, have you?
no, I've seen clips of some very degenerate stuff, but
Yeah,
I have seen some. There's this content creator, Giuna. I don't know if you know who he is.
no,
He's huge into anime fighters. He's a huge fan of like Melty Blood and the Blaze Blue games and that kind of thing. And he said that um Avatar is the one game that just in the longest time that just made him like feel happy and good to play, because he says that game you can just play how you want to play it, and things just
yep.
work. You're not like putting that little box of this is the system and the rules you have to play by. In that game, he says he tries degenerate strategies and they just work, and the game just lets you
Work 100%. I've had a lot of one and dones by zoning. So, because I love zoning. It's not for everyone. A lot of people get very angry and frustrated, but I've been playing as Azula. So I've been just basically zoning. Whenever I get in a little bit of a jam, I'll just zone. And you can see how frustrating it can be for people because in that game you can't air block.
Oh,
So,
okay. That which is
an
kind of
interesting thing.
yeah, for especially for an anime fighter. I mean,
That kind of game.
in Street Fighter you can't air block, but it like in most Street Fighter games you can. But
Yes,
almost
but
every
in
anime
Marvel versus
fighter,
Capcom,
yeah,
yeah.
and Guilty Gear, like, yeah, pretty much almost every anime style
But
fighter you can air block. So in this game you have to be really committal.
well, this is why it's weird because you can super jump and you have lots of air mobility and there's characters that can fly. So it makes even less sense, but it actually makes it fun because it's there's no real like DPS. There's no like anti-airs the way there are in other fighting games. But basically every standing attack can be an anti-air because you can't block. So and jump throws are actually like your anti-air as well. It's really strange, but the fact that jumping is so easy but also so risky has added something sort of interesting to that game. I haven't really got a full. I don't really know what that means yet, if that makes sense. I haven't really decided if I like it or not, but it's really quite interesting, And you're right that you can sort of play. I've had a lot of success zoning. There are people who rush down and kick my ass as well. So like, there's definitely multiple play styles happening there, and I can't. There was, I got really. I'd like to jump in and start playing online pretty much straight away, and I play through the story a bit. I practice. I do some trials, and then I just go online and start playing matches. And I was getting just absolutely rinsed for the first 10 or 20 fights. And then now I'm at the point where I'm starting to win most of my fights. I'm like, oh, this game is sort of, it's different. It's got a lot of weird. Degenerate is the right word. It's got a lot of degenerate stuff in it. Like there's some characters that can do some combos that just absolutely smash you. There's things that seem like infinites, but then there's sort of like moves that are just feel super cheap, but they're fun still. Yeah, and there's little mechanics like Azula's super can be shot back at her by certain character by one of the characters, which is interesting, but it's hard to do.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, I saw that's which is.
I've had some people try to do it, and it's hard to do. So even though I know they can do it, I still do the super because I know they're going to try to do it and they'll fuck it up. And they, instead of just blocking it,
Yeah, that must be
they
funny.
yeah. I'm going to try it, and it's a very specific timing, and online with delay, input delay and stuff, it's not as easy.
Also,
So
aren't there kind of like I think Mark on the 10 maybe that there's different versions of the characters you can play too, if I'm not
yep,
mistaken.
yep. Yeah, and their stances change, right? So they have like assist characters too, but they're not really assist characters. They just augment the character a bit how Mortal Kombat works, where you pick a different style for that character. But yeah, so take Azula. If she loses, if it's the final round, she goes into her crazy form. And there's another guy, Zahir. If you beat on one of his assists, because he's the only one who has other characters come onto the screen and do attacks, right? If you beat on his girlfriend a bit too much, he detaches, right? From and then he can fly. It's kind of
That is crazy how they decided to put lore accurate things, because the people who can deflect Sula, I assume it's Zuko and Aang.
Correct. Aang shoots it up in the air, but Zuko's not as nice. He shoots it back.
Yeah, which is also lore accurate, because like Aang is a good guy. He doesn't really want to hurt people, so he just deflects it, while Zuko is just trying to shoot it right back. That I love.
Unless his cotton socks, he's too nice.
Yeah, I love that so much. It is so unique. The thing is, I'm still on the fence about learning a new fighting game, because I don't have the time I used to, and whenever I have some time to get in some matches, I usually play Tekken or Street Fighter 6, But I have seen some stuff very interesting. I've seen the Suki buff with
with soccer. Yeah.
With soccer, and I've seen some very degenerate stuff with that, and it just looks funny, but
I can't wait to see what the competitive scene of this game looks like at some point, because it's not a AAA game by any stretch of the imagination. It's kind of a budget game.
It looks like a Newgrounds like animation, like almost. It looks like a Flash game.
They haven't got all the original voice actors, only some of them. It's the story mode seems they've used all just the idle stances and stuff for the character animations in the story. There's some shortcuts, right?
Also, didn't they release some characters that are just like the keyframes, and they're missing a lot of the animation frames, so they're choppy as hell?
Yeah.
That
However, I think it will improve with its popularity, and it also wasn't that expensive. It wasn't like $100 game or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope that it sells enough to just polish it and make it, it's kind of funny, but you can tell that, at least from a bird's eye point of view, that these are people who love Avatar and they love fighting games. You can tell it's a labor of love, and I really respect that, because I'm also rooting for the little guy, because we can't have all these AAA fighting games all over the place. There was always those little side games that you just loved, and my favorite console of all time.
Where's our Skullgirls?
Yes.
Where's our Skullgirls third encore? Where's that?
Yeah, I know. The thing is, my favorite console like ever is the PS1. That whole era that was my teenage years, And when you were into fighting games, you had the cream of the crop and the cream of the crap, everything in between. You have your
before you say that, you got to play some N64 fighting games.
What? N64?
There's some bad ones.
I know there's Killer Instinct. There's War Gods. There's some game called Mace, I think.
Mace the Dark Ages. Yeah.
Oh,
shout out to Richard Jago. He gets me to play these, and I played the Xena one. It's fucking garbage. There's some real bad ones. Fighter's Destiny was better than I expected, but there's actually so many more than you think. That I was just assuming, like, because I had a Nintendo 64 as well. We had in my household, we had all of them, right? So we played all our fighting games on either the PlayStation or the Saturn, right? So we had all the good ones. But then the 64 has so many weird, obscure ones, and I'm not talking about just Clay Fighter 63 and a third either. Yeah, there's some other ones on there that are kind of like, what were they thinking?
No, definitely the N64 was not my fighting game.
There's some bad ones on the PlayStation.
You're right. Oh, yeah, there's some For every
Isn't the Star Wars one on there?
yeah, Masters of Terraskasi, I never actually played it. It's horrible. Then you had stuff like Bloody Roar, which was cool as hell. The guys just turn into animals mid-fight, with explosions and stuff. I remember one called Psychic Force. I don't know if you ever heard of that one.
No, I haven't.
It was crazy. The characters are just like floating around inside a cube, and then they just shoot psychic attacks, kind of like Dragon Ball style, and you can air dash and charge your energy. There was one which is kind of the prototype for arena fighters. Maybe it was called the Strega, and the characters that was weird because the character you have three attack buttons, and depending of what combination of those three attack buttons you press is what your character does. So you have to kind of do a conjuring of different spells to use that spell. So depending of what you hear the other guy say is the attack is gonna do. It was crazy. So I love that Wild West of fighting games where like you didn't know what you were gonna get, and I get kind of glad that we're kind of back there because a lot of fighting games came out and went and nothing, man. There was is Invincible versus still a thing?
I don't think so.
That game came out.
Actually, no. I think people still play it.
Yeah, but it's I don't even think it's in majors anymore. It came out. It was kind of like it seems like it was gonna get the Mortal Kombat crowd, and it just came and disappeared. And it was Kusoge, like there was degenerate as hell. There was
GG.
Yeah, you have this guy, the guy who's also in. I haven't watched Invincible, so the guy who's also in. I think he's in Mortal Kombat 2. The guy with the red cape and the mustache. I think he.
Oh, Omni-Man.
Yeah, I think he had a DP, an invincible DP that was plus and block. What is that? It's like that completely.
Yeah, it's a risk-free DP. Yeah, I heard. Who did I hear talking about that? One of the Street Fighter content creators was talking.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so literally the risk of an invincible reversal is that you will get destroyed if you miss it, but then you have an invincible
whiffing a dragon punch is a definite punish in every game.
Yeah, that is, it's a punish counter, and you're gonna die. And knowing this guy, you knock him down, he'll just get up with a DP, and now you have to guess for your life. And you're like, it's like reverse Oki.
Whiff all the DPs you want, mate. Whiff them all. Just keep doing it.
Yeah. Then there was also that Hunter x Hunter, Nen Impact, is it called?
Yeah,
that's
Hunter X Hunter or Hunter Cross Hunter or Hunter Hunter or whatever. I don't even know. It's an anime, right? So
yes, that's another game that came and went, and it was degenerate as hell. They were on the very first tournament. I think there was an infinite that you could do absolutely nothing about.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like the crowd that has the MVC honor system of only doing 2 loops and then stopping.
Yeah, no, The point is we are getting those stinkers now too, and I really hope they don't get discouraged by just a simple, I know money is the end goal, but I hope they keep trying to make these new fighting games and more people trying to get a little piece of the action, because this parts. I used to go more often to my local here, mostly when I was playing Stripe, and those little side tournaments of obscure games were some of the most fun I've had, like just watching degenerate, like crappy games and people very passionate about it. So I hope those side games get more love.
The world champ of dive kick. Dude,
Daiki was
always that.
Daiki was hype. I don't know if you count it by also it doesn't really count as a fighting game. But you ever heard of a game called Nidhogg?
No,
it's like a fencing game that when you kill like someone, they're it, and they have to stop you from running to one side of the screen. And then if you're running and go to the next screen, they appear in front of you again, and then you're like fencing, and then it's like one hit kill, and the other person died. You have to run to the other side, and it's just hilarious. Uh, I just hope people just keep getting out there and doing more stuff, even if it's like Avatar. That it's just we ran out of budget here, and but we're still trying to make it happen. Cause but I really do love fighting games, and I love to watch the bad ones just for the laughs too.
Yeah, you need a little bit of, it's like food. You can't just have all chicken and broccoli, mate. It's got to be, you got to have some bad stuff too. And I think it's a good time because people are starting to take risks again, but although the risks are going to have bigger implications financially than before, I think. But I'd also like Dead or Alive to throw their hat back in the ring. I think they're going to, but I mean, they killed themselves with
The
pay to play
the monetization model on that
Just
is-
sell a game. Just sell a game. Sell a costume pack if you must. But
I think it was something like $1,700 or something to
yes,
get all the DLC on that game, and it's Virtua Fighter
yep,
is ripe for a comeback, because Virtua Fighter, like I mean, they're alive, because let's face it, they're alive is Virtua Fighter for dummies. Whoever says otherwise, I'm sorry. If you This is not the hardcore like deep game you think it is. It is like Virtua Fighter Lite, but it is very accessible, and that's actually what's
Emery Reigns is going to hunt you down now. He loves that game and he defends the fuck out of it and says Tekken players they shit all over Dead or Alive. But it's like,
Look, man, I remember Dead or Alive Hardcore. I played Hayabusa. You know how I beat you? I countered 3 of your kicks and you died. Because he will just grab your leg and slam you back, and that's like 40% of your health. And
I love Dead or Alive though. I do.
no, don't get me wrong. I have as much fun as the next guy playing Dead or Alive, and then like like with John Lee doing like a bulldog in a no, I saw it was Jackie, who's a guest character, his bulldog like back throw.
Jackie Bryant.
Yeah, he did it on a staircase, and he just goes, yeah, and this guy is like, he should be dead. Like the fall that the other character takes is like 10 flights of stairs, and it's fun, and the spectacle. Actually, to my understanding, a lot of or some of the Dead or Alive team actually worked in Tekken 8, and if you look at the stage hazards and all that, you can clearly see the DNA there, but I think...
Yeah, and they come from Virtua Fighter originally, a lot of those devs. Like Dead or Alive 2 introduced so many things that are just normal in fighting games now as well.
Yeah. No, look, here's the thing. Dead or Alive 1 and 2, I think, were genuinely, like, making a huge impact and trying something serious. 3, the problem with 3 is 3 was 2 again. And almost every Dead or Alive game to me felt like the same game. And maybe I'm missing something, but there wasn't that big of a leap between one and the other. But the point is, right now, there is a vacuum for 3D fighters. Virtua Fighter is coming back. Tekken, it's got, there's a lot of people willing to look to a new 3D fighting game,
Now, we didn't, this hasn't come up yet, but Harada having his own studio...
Yes.
Is this could be interesting because it might not be Virtua Fighter that ends up filling this gap. It might be a 3D fighter from SNK or whatever Harada's Versus Studio puts out, right? So can you imagine King of Fighters like Tekken? Like every character is like Geese Howard from Tekken 7.
Oh my god, that does not sound as good.
I'd love that.
On paper sounds cool, but oh my god,
Wow, yeah. If it's done, yeah, but it's Harada, right? So I've got a bit more faith he could pull something like that up, or a brand new franchise entirely.
Yeah, or maybe revive some of the old SNK like more obscure fighting games, But again, we need the 2D space. I think it's pretty healthy right now, but we need more 3D fighters. Tekken needs competition. I will love a new Soul Calibur like Soul Calibur
Yep.
2. Just like how was Soul Calibur 2 perfect, and then they just kind of how they made it worse. I don't. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I know.
It,
I know. It's a weird one because it looked so. The first few Soul Calibur games also led the pack in graphics and
when
music
Soul
and stuff as
Calibur
well.
came out for the Dreamcast, nothing came even close. Like full stop. That game was just gorgeous. And but as it kept going, the series just got stale, and they introduced some really weird stuff. And you remember that Clash rock paper scissors crap they pulled on the last one? It was weird. Just
Yeah, it wasn't like, say, in Samurai Showdown. That'd be great if they made a 3D Samurai Showdown too, by the way. But like, in Clash, it's just whoever smashes the button fastest.
oh man, in the arcades that was you knew so
made it.
people were playing Samurai Showdown where you hear the button matching just like and the people screaming.
But they tried that with the rock paper scissors thing, right?
Yeah, but again, rock paper scissors. Why do you throw Janken in the middle of a fight? It is so such a baffling decision. It's like yeah, let's stop and throw some dice, and yeah, you got when you got mechanics from
Alex Kidd.
yes, exactly. Oh, like you know what this fighting game needs some Alex Kidd thrown in there. It's like, yeah, man, make it happen. I'm like, why? But
Make a boss fight
yeah,
of rock paper scissors or paper scissors rock or Janken Pong or whatever you want it. Just make it random.
actually, I will make a Janken Pong like legit fighting game and have Justin Wong be a character. That will be amazing. Like a legit character.
Yeah, he just always loses to Daigo.
Yeah.
That was mean.
Daigo Paris your rock somehow. Actually, I think that'd be kind of cool that they have special moves to like counter special. Like, I don't know. I think we're onto something just like ridiculous enough.
That man, he got so much for that, and you see, takes it so well.
No, that's the
People send him shit. It's hilarious.
That's the other thing, man. Justin Wong is just he's my goat. Not only because he still has the most Evo wins when Evo wasn't a local, because nowadays it's like you got like 14 Evos a year.
And there was zero money in it. Not little money, zero.
Yeah, and the thing is, Justin is more relevant now than he ever was on the competitive scene, just because he's a guy who just genuinely loves fighting games and he gives to the community, and he's also taken the memes so well. Like, I don't know if you've seen that clip of this guy like cosplaying as Ryu, like on a through like a Hadouken plushie to him. So he throws the Hadouken plushie on to Justin, and when Justin throws him back, he parries it. He's like, "Did you just parry me?" It's like, "You're not even Ken."
But people will come up with the parry like a screen, like a still shot of it, and get him to autograph it and all sorts of shit. It's hilarious.
No, man, he posted his little girl is taking martial arts. I think it's karate or something, and she was like throwing a kick, and someone like edited Ken parrying her kick, and I'm like, oh man, that's a little too far.
That's not okay, but it's still pretty funny.
Yeah, but I think, Justin, again, he's my GOAT. He makes regular content. The thing is, Justin Wong genuinely loves fighting games, and you see him playing old-ass games, janky games, old games, and he's having a blast just playing them, because even if it's like Kusoge, he enjoys it for what it is, and I love that passion he has for fighting games. And then you have been doing commentary. You have been doing guest spots with other content creations. It is just, even though, let's call a spade. Maximilian Dude is the biggest fighting game content creator, bar none. But I feel that Justin is the grassroots insider type of guy. He is like I felt that, like Max, there's always been an us and them. Because he's never been part of the competitive scene the same way, So they weren't all so intertwined with like the way they were with Justin. But
Yeah, he's no joke, but Justin Wong was a champion.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, he was one of us hitting the arcades, getting going to tournaments, and look, man, I will go pick up like four of my buddies in my car and drive 3 hours into a tournament to just get our asses whooped. And it's like we didn't make a single cent, but we had a blast. It was a road trip. It's that
Yeah.
it's that grassroots mentality that a lot of us has, and I think that's part of what's going on with the fighting game scene, is that a lot of us have these fun memories of a scene that just doesn't exist. The arcade scene.
And the pros don't often engage with that kind of thing very often, which is cool to see, like, because they don't talk about the fighting games the way like a fan at home who enjoys even just a single player mode and stuff like that. They seem a little bit like above it, and they don't talk about their love for the game and just the game itself, not the competition, the game, and Justin Wong does, and he plays lots of fighting games, and he talks about lots of fighting games. He's not just like some of these guys who make content about just the competitive scene in one game.
Right.
He actually, like you said, he feels like he's one of you, and that's I think what a lot of pros don't sort of like capture that much. Like I'll say JDCR, right? I saw him make a video of him fighting Shin Akuma in Tekken 7 on the hardest difficulty. He every now and then does something like that, and you're like, oh, cool. He got fucked up just like the rest of us did.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, a lot of them are like the old heads. Like J.M. Crofts is another one that I'm very fond of. He's one of the old school, like, content creator. But a lot of them, I love that they talk about these old games and they dissect them, and it's kind of like a historian type of role of fighting games.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the ones that are more involved with the competitive scene now, it's they play the game they're currently competing in, and they create content around that because it's popular. That's what gets you, your donations and stuff, and it's a side hustle. And
they stay in the lines.
Yeah, and I respect that. And most of them actually criticize the game a lot, But again, Justin is just a happy guy who loves to engage with fans, and he's such a down to earth guy, And every time he, the Justin pose, like on pictures, where it's like him doing the heart emoji, like hand gesture, and then the thumbs up, and people pose with him doing that, and he takes it all in stride. So it is just, I think he's just a wholesome guy, which is why I like him so much. When there's so much negativity when it comes to fighting game coverage, because again, if you stay off social media, like, it is a very different thing. If you go to like Twitter or X or whatever, it is just vile.
Well, think about how, like, say, low tier gods content and all the people that hate him.
Dude, I have such a love-hate relationship with like LTG, because look, this guy is toxic as shit.
No, I don't hate him.
Like,
I'm just saying.
No, but here's the thing. He's toxic to the next level, and it's funny because he says he's like mentally untouchable, and like people just watch him to like push his buttons. But first of all, the guy is a solid player. If, he gets in his head too much and he doesn't want to put in the work like other people do, but he's a solid player. But the things that come out of this guy's mouth, like sometimes, like I'm literally, like, my sides hurt because I'm laughing so much. I'm like, this guy, he is genuinely funny. He is a solid player and he's talented, but he is his own worst enemy. And the thing is,
no, I know,
he's been doing this for such a long time that you can't help but respect the hustle. He said, how can you be angry 24/7 and still make a career out of it? It's insane.
I just don't understand how other people just get sucked in. And that entertains me so much. Like I just think it's hilarious. There's like what he's like, what he does. You don't, and I like I said, I don't. I respect he's being a heel, man.
Yeah, no,
He's being the
and
heel.
here's the thing, like I genuinely the kayfabe of him, because I'm like, is
Yeah,
this guy genuinely this unhinged or this stupid or this unstable, and then, or is he just playing a character and playing
he's just a
everyone,
genius.
or like no matter what, how you look at it, he's made a career out of this, and like without having to touch a 9 to 5, and he's still doing it, and whatever he has, people are willing to either watch him or hate watch him. With look, engagement is engagement, doesn't matter where it comes from.
Oh,
But I
Shocking Costs. Have you heard of that channel?
shocking costs.
I think it's Shocking Costs. He does fighting game stuff. He talks about like financial side of fighting games quite a bit. But he was talking about the economy of low tier God, right? They're like, which is hilarious. He goes, "There's a whole internet economy around this guy.
Dude, like
People
there's so
make money off hating him,
yeah,
right? And responding to him and engaging in like online fights with him, and it's hilarious that he's had that effect.
yeah,
And I just think like
he's the fighting game DSP.
it's just I think it's amazing.
Yeah, no, and it's like you see all this, you look up low tier God and you find these channels that just clip him, and some of these channels like are monetized and stuff, so it's like you're literally just stealing his content and repurposing it and making a whole channel out of it. It's kind of insane, but the point is,
It's nuts.
the point is like every couple of weeks my buddy will send me a low tier God clip, and it would just be hilarious, especially when he gets like really personal, or like starts talking about people's moms. Stuff. It's again, it's a shame, because I think the guy is genuinely talented and he could be a comedic genius, but he gets in his own way. I think if he focused a little, he could really be huge.
Oh, and yeah, it's so funny when you have that heel who backs it up as well. It's yeah.
Yeah,
A few people I've seen challenge him and lose, and I've thought that's pretty funny.
look,
It's like
here's yeah,
sometimes the good guy doesn't win, like
yeah, it's funny, but at least he's always entertaining. Like whether he's pissed or something, and
Yeah.
if he proves people wrong, it's another thing. But at least it's not like a perfect legend. That his legacy is
Yeah.
he lost 13-0 in a first to 10 to Sonic Fox, and that is his legacy. It's funny because this guy is always like rage baiting on X, and he posts like a tweet like which just is usually inflammatory to a degree, and you will always see one of the first comments is 13-0 every single time this comes up. But yeah, man, LTG, I hope he's around for a long time, man, because like a lot of people hate him. This guy every time I see a clip, it's just, you don't know what to expect, whether if he's like raging about it or rage quitting. I remember when he didn't want to watch his character lose, so they do like a super to kill him, and he will just go to the PlayStation, like the main
Home
screen while the whole thing played out.
He's that guy that like I've done this a couple of times. He's that guy who just do a fatality in Mortal Kombat. Even though it's a taboo. You're like, because you only do it if you want to wrap things up.
Yeah.
Tell the other guy you don't want to play anymore. But otherwise, it's just very common manners just to jab.
Oh man, look,
Yeah.
look. You're back in the wrong tree. I'm the guy who will send a rage heart if I juggled you and you have a pixel. Like I am that guy.
Yeah,
But
I've got the meter and I'm gonna spend it, mate.
no, but here's the thing. Again, Lee is such an unpredictable character when it comes to damage that so many times I said, you know what, I'm just gonna finish this combo, and this guy has a pixel and he beats me. That now I just go overkill. I'll just make sure like you see my ultimate form. I will like I will like hit you and do a hit burst and then do the rage heart just to make sure you're like extremely dead. I was also that.
Well, we were talking about that not that long ago, weren't we? Like unwritten rules.
Oh yeah, no,
And then there's so many unwritten rules where we were both like, I don't do that.
yeah, no, but the unwritten rules, I like, for example, in Soul Calibur, if I beat you, you better believe I'm gonna hit your corpse at least 27 times and have you spinning there like.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and it's like
They wouldn't have put it in if they didn't want me to do it.
yeah, they're like, oh, it's bad manners. Or like, here's the thing, Tekken has an option of it's called the something mirror that you can activate that and the character just
Yes.
goes idle when the round ends, so you don't have to look at it.
Yep.
But if you're one of those person that like
Oh,
burst a
that's soft.
blood vessel every time someone's like key charges, it maybe fighting games are not for you. And here's the thing, I come from the arcade days, which was you go there and you better have thick skin because people are gonna trash talk you the whole time. It is just the nature of it, and it was funny because you whiff something, in the. I'm from Puerto Rico. In the scene there, like Tekken had so many funny expressions. Like if you whiffed like a juggle or something, like they call you a Christian because you forgave the other guy. Stuff. They will say you have a bad back if you eat all the loaves because like you can't talk. And it was just like little stuff like
That's
this.
a good one. I love that.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
little stuff that just like
This guy's
like
got a bad
irritates people, and or like you eat a overhead or a launcher and someone else like who ducked, and then like they're like he ducked, and you're like, hey man, why'd you duck, and stuff like that, and you see the person just getting more and more agitated, and they can play like less. So it was always this bullying, like it's all in good fun, but it's like everyone's bullying you around for every little like mistake. So it was just hilarious. So just having someone key charge and you record that clip and post it on a forum because this guy, like, I'm like, look man, suck it up. It's part of the game. If it's in the game, it's valid,
It did. They took teabagging out of Mortal Kombat 1.
What?
So like
Teabagging is an essential part of fighting games. It's there for a reason.
Well, the reason that the Mercy in Mortal Kombat is down 3 times is because you're teabagging.
Oh, so if you teabag the other guy, like he revives.
Well, that's why they put the Mercy in. It does no. If you don't press run while you do it or block or whatever it is now to perform a Mercy, like they used to. That's why the input was like that.
Oh, okay.
Right, because it was like because you're teabagging them by giving them a little bit of health as like a diss, right? So it was put in to troll your opponent.
So insult to injury,
and then they've gone full circle. They've gone full circle and like taken it out. So it's yeah.
No, man.
But
and
for some people, it's
and the thing is, like a lot of times, I don't know if you can pick this up, but you kind of feel the vibe from the other. Like I remember,
100%.
I played against this law, and we went down to the wire. Last like interaction, and then just like I got the best of him, but it could have gone either way. And he sent me a friend request. And this, 99% of the time, I see a friend request. I'm like, this guy is salty as shit. And he just wants to, so I have my PlayStation so that people have to be my friend in order to, contact me. So I see the friend request. I'm like, no freaking way. You just, I'm not going to engage. But this particular time, I did. And he said, GG's, man. Hey, I got this Discord server, for Tekken. I'd love for you to join. And it was it was great, and it was because you kind of felt the body language of the person
You
playing.
know you can. You can even by how long they hesitate before they rematch. All sorts of little cues tell you if they're like good with the. Sometimes people like banter. They like the degenerate stuff. They like having a tough fight, right? But some people are just really salty over the littlest things, or you don't play the way they want you to play, you know. But some people, like, you can tell they're cool, right? Even without talking to them, because I have all that switched off because I had a few times where people were going mental into the voice chat, right? So I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm the same. I've got to be friends for messaging and stuff like that and voice chat and stuff. I don't engage with any of that. But yeah, I had one guy get super angry at me because I won with a rage art.
It's there. It's in the
Yeah.
game. Stop pressing buttons. It's like look, every large
It's
player
so easy to
ever,
block.
every large player I beat with a rage art because he's just pressing buttons. It's like, look, it's there. It's on you if you're just like pressing like a madman, thinking I'm not gonna use the tools they gave me, and it's like, oh, the only reason you won is a rage art. So I won. It's fair and square. Like
You
it's
should
there.
bait. You should bait the rage art. Like not fucking have a tantrum when you hit with it.
Yeah, and it's funny. You saw a lot of baited rage arts in the last EWC, and it was heck. Even Arslan got baited. Like it's crazy. But yeah,
It's
it's
just another thing in the game.
no man. And the thing is, again, when the arcade scene, you will have that and the trash talk like right next to you. Like it's even funnier. But you know, people are getting soft.
I couldn't. You just have to ask Chaotic Jim. Every time I got him with Julia's Rage Art Tekken 7, and I just said, thanks for watching. Every time she said it, I said it with her.
Oh, that.
Every time. And I did the high pitched voice. I did I did the pose. Don't forget to subscribe. All of it. I did.
No, it's funny because like since I share an office space with her, like my wife is so used to listening to my games that I go showtime, and you hear my wife from the other room yelling marvelous. Yeah, but again, people need to. It's look, people. We're playing games. Games are for fun. It's just all in good fun. And you know what? I'm being a massive hypocrite because I get tilted as shit. I'm not gonna lie, especially when like I get clipped by some weird angle thing, and I just get juggled, and I know that cost me the round. No man, I get salty too, but it's all part of the game, and it's funny because the saltier I get, the worse I play. Then I get even saltier, and I have to just kind of calm down, take a couple deep breaths, and then I get better. And
But I mean, our culture over here in sport, particularly, we call it sledging. You call it chirping in North America, but it's part of the game to the point where, say, in cricket, they have rules because of it, right? So, like, and the things they used to say that now they have microphones everywhere and they hear it, but like the things they used to say used to be absolutely hilarious. And some other countries were fantastic at it as well, but like it was just some of the things some of the things that were said on a cricket field that they've documented are just ruthless, right? Absolutely ruthless.
actually,
And it's part of the game.
they added a rule in football, or soccer, that you can't cover your mouth
I know.
to
I
talk
heard that. I
to
saw that.
talk to the other person because people will say like really racist shit and stuff, and just like to tilt the other players. So they have to make a
Yeah, but
rule
that's
around
not
it.
a rule to stop it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the best way to stop it is, well, I guess they're covering their mouth, but yeah, and that's sort of hiding what they're saying. But you can't tell for sure what they're saying anyway.
Yeah,
That lip reading stuff's a load of crap.
yeah. No,
You know,
the thing is, look, you can't really do much about it. That's the personal integrity of the person, But
Yeah, and if they come from a place where that's okay and they've done it all that time, do you think you're just gonna do you think they're gonna stop thinking it? Do you think they're gonna stop? You know what I mean? Like, it's
Look, man.
you gotta do it with.
Look, man. If you follow
Yeah,
like the British like football hooligan scene or stuff, I'm pretty sure that's ruthless.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they are, and they got to stop it. But you don't stop it by having a silly rule like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, look, man. You have to fix the culture. You can't add rules around.
exactly my point.
Yeah,
I'm not saying don't try to get rid of it. I'm saying, what is that supposed to fucking do about it? No, that's not going to do anything.
yeah.
You know,
No,
people just make new words up. You know,
yeah, yeah. And
they just make new words up.
and it's all about context, really. And that's the thing. Getting offended, it's all about context, in my opinion. Like,
Oh,
just
there was one in the WNBA where an Aussie coach, she called one of the players from the other team a protected species. Now, that is a normal phrase in Australia. It's a normal phrase. We say it all the time. What it means is that player's getting special treatment. Like, and it happens to usually the best player in a competition and stuff like that, right? Or the poster child for a competition. So, and it's a real thing. So it gets said. But because it was America, everyone thought it was like about race and stuff and went absolutely fucking crazy. This shows how ignorant they can be sometimes. Like,
no,
there's
the
no
thing is,
offense
like,
to Americans, but
I laugh right
ask
away.
a question or two before you just make an assumption, eh?
Yeah, but
You know?
I laugh when as soon as you said that because I'm like, oh my god, that could be taken so badly.
And they did. But because we're so not like that, we don't think of it like that. They do. It shows their mindset, not ours, right?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
It shows we don't think about it like that because there's no inherent racism in it at all. In fact, the opposite is true because you're treating someone as an equal, right? Whereas they've got such a cultural lens that focuses on those things because of their history, obviously, that they just immediately assumed it was something awful, like, yeah. And you're like, no, it can be about any color player, and it is, because we say it in all other sports about every kind of player from everywhere in the world, like it just, but that idea that the context is super important. That coach would have no idea that would have done that,
Yeah, here they probably
she had to apologize. Yeah,
they probably thought they were being compared to a wild animal, and let's just say those comparisons can be very inflammatory. But yeah, it's again different cultures, man, and
it is, it's just,
and also look, this was an honest mistake. Maybe it wasn't sensitive to say it on somewhere that that they could take it one way or the other, but that's where it dies. That's it. You said something that, look, it wasn't what I meant. It's an expression where I come from. That's where that goes. But they will still try to go out of their way to farm the outrage. That's an apology.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, it never is. That's the thing. Look,
it wasn't enough that she explained why she said it and that it doesn't mean what they think it means. And that where she's from a different country with a different culture, where that's a perfectly acceptable it's non-judgmental, it's non-discriminatory. It's just a neutral thing you say about a player that's getting good treatment from the ref, right? They didn't take that explanation as good enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't engage with these people because they don't want your apology. They want the media circus, the outrage, the whole movement, and it's exhausting that how things with everything are nowadays. Pretty much, honest mistakes exist, and it's like, okay, I said something, it didn't mean that. Where I come from, it means this. I'm sorry, it came across that way. That's all. That's all. That person is not gonna say that again in that place. They learned. But the other person needs to learn too that it is what, like, just let it go. Let it go. There's just more important
100%.
stuff to worry about out there.
Oh, yeah, just one of those things that, like, you can see since we're talking about trash talk, basically, like it just like that's trash talk. That's just regular. Yeah, but it just became a big fucking thing. It made the news. She got in trouble, got a suspension. It's just like, what? Why? Like, you know,
Yeah, no,
because a few people didn't ask a few questions, and because people didn't accept the explanation or the apology. It's just it's just people got to chill out.
yeah, 100%. I think that's if you take anything out of this whole conversation, is chill out. just it's just
And it's a good lesson for fighting games, to be honest, because I think what puts people off the genre is a bit like I saw a funny video. It was like when you play a non-fighting game, player plays a fighting game, and they just get stomped, and the other guy's just like giving them shit the whole time. And they're like, "Why don't I like fighting games? I wonder why." Like it's just sort of you've got to let go of that to get good at them. Like I said, I played Avatar for the first time online the other day, and I lost like fucking the first 20 in a row.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because here's the thing. I've told my friend, like, I have a friend who's very anxious about playing rank, and I was telling him, look, man, you're always gonna be in the rank you deserve, win or lose. Don't worry about it. Just go out there, play. You'll get better.
And you're gonna lose some.
Yeah, and here's the thing: losing is, education. Actually, I think Bruce Lee said those exact words. It's like, you lost. Why did you lose? Like, oh, I did not know that setup. I've never seen that in my life. And that's why I lost. Okay, now I saw it. Now I know next time to be ready for that. You can get a lot, even more out of a loss than a win, to learn the game and master the craft if you really put in the work. But if you just say the other character is cheap and this game is stupid and everything, you're pulling the LCG at that point. It's blame absolutely everything, and it's not because you suck. And here's the thing: it's okay to suck at fighting games. We all start somewhere. Just keep at it, and then learn from your mistakes, and you grow from there. It's part of the natural progress of things. You don't just go out there and win. That's a bad fighting game if anyone can just pick it up and get to the highest level.
I like this. It just goes like, this is advice or something I say to my kids when they try something for the first time and they're not very good. I always make a joke where I'm like, "Oh wow, it's the first time you've done it and you were really bad at it. Wow, that's surprising." Like I make a bit of a joke out of it, because you don't feel bad about doing something for the first time or trying something new and not being very good at it, because that's like how it actually should be, right? That's how things usually are, and that's why you shouldn't get worried about it, because, oh no, I'm not very experienced and I made a mistake. Like it's like obvious when you think about it in that way and you say it in a sarcastic voice, right? Whereas some people they don't really think about it like that. They just go, "Oh, well, I'm not very good, and I'm not good. Not I'm not very good at that thing, like that I can improve in if I keep practicing."
Here's the thing.
And I think, yeah,
play anything, chess, an instrument, anything. You're gonna suck.
Sport.
Just the natural order of things. Basketball, a sport, anything. You're gonna suck at first. There might be the random prodigy here and there who's just good, like very good at stuff, but it's the exception, not the rule. And fighting games are not exception. And people have so many tools you don't have yet that you're gonna go out there and smash your face in. Actually, it's kind of funny because, especially climbing Street Fighter 6, it also happened to Tekken to a huge degree. I hate playing those intermediate levels because people have no common sense and my setups don't work. A lot of my setups are frame traps that I'm like, no one in their right mind will press if I do this. So that is my time.
And they do, though.
And they will just press and press. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna laser kick your chins to oblivion, and until you learn how to block this down 4 with the lead until and that is.
We'll put it. I was going to say, you put it like this. What it is sometimes is, say you watch professional soccer and they all pass around, they give each other space, and they play out from the back and they do all the passing. If you're not professional, you're just going to put a press on.
Yeah.
right? And that game won't work. so something that works at high level doesn't always work at the intermediate level because, like what you said, they don't play in the way that a pro would play,
Yeah. No, look,
and that can sometimes be difficult to deal with.
those intermediate levels, it's madmen. It's a wild west in there, and you just hope for the best. And once it's funny because then I got started climbing to the higher levels, and I found it easier because these people make common sense. Because if I do a setup that's like plus infinity, you're not gonna press. But those like so I can go for a high risk like move. But these like lower level players, they just press. It's crazy.
Yep, yep, and it's I bet there's still people online that can take out pros.
Oh yeah.
So
Look, it's you can't you can't uh you can't prepare for randomness. That's the thing. Some people
no,
play in ways that make absolutely no sense. Look, the other day I hit someone with least unblockable. The hop kick that's high and it's like plus like 60
yeah,
frame startup. Why? Because everyone cancels his to his hitman stance. So people stop
yeah,
ducking it. They just wait for the
and
hit
people
stat.
dodge or sidestep or duck, right? So
Yeah.
that they don't actually fall for it.
And this
Some people panic and don't know what to do.
I just send it just and they ate the whole thing. And they did like counter hit. I'm like, what the hell just happened? But yeah,
It's like that punch that Jin has, right? That unblockable
the
punch.
one that he kind of like holds his fist up and like charges.
Yeah, and it just wrecks you if you let people hit you with it. But how many people are going to fall for it? you know.
That's the thing. Once in a blue moon, you're gonna find a madman who's just gonna send it, and you're not gonna be
Yeah.
prepared for it.
And then you're going to go, I'll do this, and then you get sort of tongue tied or twisted in your head of what you're going to do, and then you hit with it.
Yeah, no, it's some things. It's Lee has a move that is like while standing 2-3 is a launcher that he kind of hits you with an uppercut and then does like a side kick and it bounces like
Yep.
so. Usually on block, I just send the 4, which is the other move, which is -2, which is much safer. So I do this to my friend and do the plus the 2. He blocks it, so I go for the 4, and he ducks the 4 and explodes me. And I'm like, you absolute madman. I'm like, even though you ducked the move, you did the wrong choice right there. It's like you could
Yes, but it was the right choice because it was the wrong choice. And
right. I was like, look, man, you just blocked the -2, you're on plus frames and you're safe. And I'm at a disadvantage. If you duck, there is a possibility I'm gonna launch you. But this guy, he just blocked the first one and ducked, and I'm like, what are you doing? That's not how you play this. And I ate like a whole juggle afterwards. I'm like, wow, that is you my friend are madman.
well, do you know what though? Like to use another analogy from soccer, it'd be the third one in short time. Right? If you were to guess where the best place to kick the ball in a penalty is, what would you guess?
Right down the middle because they're gonna expect to jump
Yep.
to one side.
Correct. Statistically, that is the best place to kick the ball, except if you're not a pro, because the amount of people who don't dive when you're not a pro is higher, right? And then, pardon my French, when you kicked up the middle and they don't do anything and they stop it, you look like a dumb cunt, right? So that's what can happen, like you're like, well, I made the right choice for the right, I made the right choice. In this case, it's like you did the absolute wrong thing, like as a goalie, not dive,
It's like
right?
right choice, wrong judgment.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, exactly. The right decision for the wrong reason every time, and you just it happens sometimes, and it's funny, and it just the pros don't have this level of it just that's why sometimes watching you go to a local and you watch the stuff there, you're like, what the fuck? You're like, That was a wild fight.
Yeah, you know what? I'm all for it. I like a little
Yeah.
chaos sprinkled in there, like sometimes, and look, man. I fight every once in a blue moon. I find this Kuma online that just plays with the modern control things. So you see like the displays, and this guy I beat him every time, but by like a pixel, like almost. I have to work so hard to beat this guy spamming one thing over and over. And somehow it works. And every time I want it done because my ego can't take it. I'm like, if I lose to this guy, I'm going to like absolutely like lose my shit. So I'm taking the low road and I'm running away from this match, but it is like I am not ready for this.
If you go to his player, like his replays and stuff like that, and have a look at his record, I bet you everything's a one and done.
Yeah, it's like I don't want that smoke. It's like, look, if I run into a Safina just crawling around the floor and only two of my moves work, I'm like, you know what? I'll have to put up with this, win or lose.
Do you know who I hate? I hate Clive.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like fighting Clive.
He's in the wrong game. This is like a Soul Calibur character, like in Tekken, and it's what's
that'd be good if it existed still, but yeah.
And here's the thing: what's the long-term plan here? It's like I'm a Clive main. I'm like, do know if there's a Tekken 9.
Yeah, right.
If there's a Tekken 9, there's no Clive there. It's like, why are you invested in playing this? Like this bizarre character with the weirdest like tools.
Except the Tekken 7 with Akuma, I couldn't help myself. I had to play as Akuma.
Well,
and lots of people did.
As someone who calls himself Raging Demon, I can. I kind of get it, but yeah, it's like, collab is a one-time thing. It's like, go learn another character that's actually can have some legacy to it,
Well, and to be fair, I didn't have to learn Akuma really.
Nah.
His moves are all the same.
Yeah.
So it was just...
Dude, I hated those 2D characters so much. It's so weird having a character just have his own mechanics and literally play on a different... It was so bizarre.
It's just so weird seeing the Street Fighter 4 Super Gauge.
Yeah, no, and it's like, there was the
Touch of Death.
Yeah, that was the Street Fighter X Tekken, that Capcom did, and there was always supposed to be a Namco version, like Tekken X Street Fighter, that never came to fruition, and I'm pretty sure that Akuma was the prototype of what that thing was gonna look like, and I hate it.
He was their liquidated. He was like their liquidated damages for getting out of that deal.
Yeah.
Right. So they were like, we get to pick anyone we want as a guest character, and not only that, we're going to put him in the story.
Oh yeah, and didn't he wreck Heihachi?
Oh yeah, and Kazuya as well. Except, and then they have a round 2 at the end, right? But that was just the coolest thing they did. They didn't just make him a guest character; they brought him into the lore and made him permanent. And that Capcom can never undo that. So that's one of the really cool things Namco did there.
It's funny that you're talking about that, and I was talking with my brother that the absolute center of the fighting game universe is called Terry Bogard.
Ain't that the truth? He's been in everything, even Smash Brothers.
Yeah, this guy has fought like Mario and like Ryu. Actually, Mario did fight Ryu too. But the point is, like, Terry Bogard is freaking everywhere. Like they did have Geese in Tekken 7, so not Terry himself. But what you see him as guest characters, he's on Fighting EX Layer too. He's everywhere, so it's like just throw Terry in there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, where else? He's more famous for other games than his own, because even Fatal Fury was like pretty quiet for ages, and he was just in King of Fighters all the time.
Yeah,
it's.
There were so many that now I'm kind of like drawing blanks, but he's being Also, there's been a lot of, I think, mobile games and stuff that they throw Terry in there, like just throw him in there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We've been going 2 hours. I think I better wrap it up.
Yeah, it's great how we talk about everything and nothing at once, but it's good to, you know, just talk fighting games in general because again, I'm in my 40s already. The people, my coworkers and stuff, that a lot of them are much younger, even the ones that are into fighting games and stuff. So going down legacy road and reminiscing, it's so much fun, because
It's,
and
yeah.
also I like that this little conversation kind of let me get inside my own head and realize why I love fighting games so much. It's not just about the current game you have and getting throw loop to death. It's about the the trajectory of fighting games, where they come from, where they become, and it is the purest form of competition in gaming, and I'm still
Yeah.
convinced of.
Player versus player.
Yeah.
It is the truest form of it.
Yeah,
Agree.
the character does have, something to do with it, but at the end of the day, it is a you versus me competition made a best man win. And it is something that's pure, that you don't really see it in other games. You don't see it in shooters. Some people like to duel in Dark Souls game. Like, that's actually like some sort of some sort of real art, but just that competition of you, someone else, and then just made the best person win. And it's just so cool, So I really appreciate the invitation, and I hope, I hope we have another powwow somewhere down the road, because again, there's fighting games have what, almost 40 years of history around now. Well, maybe less, 30 something, 30 to 40.
Yeah. True. Yeah. So, because 87 is Street Fighter 1,
Yeah, that's
which is the year I'm born.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's almost 40 next year.
Yep.
That is crazy. It's also
Yeah.
crazy that the 80s will always be 20 years ago in my head. I don't know why my head works
I hear ya.
that way, and I was born in 82, so woof, but
Yet it's
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it's funny that you were mate like when you talk to like I'll talk to young people at work or something like that, and they'll go, "Oh, you like gaming?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I play this, that." And then as soon as I start mentioning fighting games, I can see they're like, "Oh, he doesn't really like." He's one of these weirdos who plays fighting games. I might as well have told him I play Flight Simulator or something. You know what I mean? Like something is sort of people are like, "Oh,
Yeah, there's not that many of us out there in the wild, but the few that are, we're like rabidly passionate about it. And, it's just, and if you,
And there was a time. There was a time when Street Fighter 2 and Soul Calibur were the best game in the world.
oh man, Street
And
Fighter 2 was massive, man. You couldn't go to a pizza parlor without hearing that Hadouken over and over. But yeah, no. If
100%.
if you get something out of this whole conversation, is that fighting games are awesome and frustrating as hell. But if you don't play fighting games because they're intimidating, look, just grab a fighting game of your choice, press some buttons, and every once in a while you're gonna win and you're gonna get that little dopamine hit, and that's when you're gonna be like, oh, you know what, this is actually fun. And then
What a rush.
let me repeat what I did last time to see if it works again. And once you get the ball rolling and getting your identity as a fighting game player, man, there's so much fun to be had. There's so much community, and it's just, they're just fun. They're just fun, frustrating as hell, but that comes down to how you. I'm a firm believer that how people react to losing in fighting games is a direct litmus test of how they handle adversity in real life. I'm convinced.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Me-
I totally agree.
Me,
And
I am a sore loser. I get salty as hell, but that is because I don't like losing in anything in life. I am very competitive at work, at everything. That's just my nature. So naturally, when I lose, I get like, I'm just, but it also like lights up that flame that, okay, I need to get better because I'm not losing to these bastards again, so.
Oh, I know, 100% know the feeling. I'm not a good. I'm a good loser in that I'd keep my shit together, but I'm not a good loser. Deep down, I am absolutely furious with myself. And but the highs of winning so far outweigh the lows, right? Yeah. When I look down at my Fitbit and I'm playing a fighting game and it's like 150 beats per minute and shit like that, I'm like, wow, it gets me excited still, even to this day,
I get
And
I get what I call the Tekken fever. Like I just get my temperature gets so high and I start like sweating and I start taking off my jacket and everything and it's just
all right, my shoes are off.
yeah, and then
I'm serious now.
you get the forward lean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a whole process. But again, it is so fun. So if you're out there, just go play some fighting games, have some fun like with other people, and yeah. Look, hit me off. I'll shoot the shit with you. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate it. And you're welcome on any time. Is there anything you want to plug, mate?
oh well, mostly if you want to hear like some of my older ramblings, you can check the Super Garbage Day podcast where we reviewed games 20 years or older and just talk about them, and also occasionally stream on YouTube under Vanfernal, mostly retro games. But again, if anyone's listening to this feels intimidated by fighting games and stuff, look, just reach out and we can play some matches and just like get some more people to enjoy this hobby that is so much fun when you actually get to it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna baptize you here and say, Vanfernal, you're a good cunt. So there you go. We tiptoe around that word when we talk to foreigners, but yeah,
Thank you.
it's been
Like,
great having you on.
knowing you're like an Aussie, I'll take that as a compliment. Like.
And it absolutely is. You're a great guy. Thanks for coming on. I knew we'd have a nice chinwag too, because you just know when you get another fighting game fan, you just we could talk for hours about fighting games, and we have literally.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I really appreciate you coming on and being a guest on the show, because we do talk a lot on Discord. And you send me some really good Tekken 8 stuff too, which I appreciate.
Yeah, no, man, anytime.
So,
So whenever you need someone to talk about fighting games or anything, really, just reach out. I'm always around the corner. So thank you for having me, and this was a blast.
yeah, thanks a lot. And thanks for listening, everyone. Don't smash your controllers.
Marvelous!